Hello, I'm Joanne Magistro, Superintendent of the East Brunswick Public Schools, and I'm very pleased to have today at our edition of Spotlight in Education three very important people that work very hard for our students. Mr. John Carrubba, who is President of the East Brunswick Education Foundation, Lori Silver, who's on the Foundation's Grant Committee, and Ellen Shur, who is their Corresponding Secretary and Student Ambassador Coordinator. Correct? John, it's amazing as I go and walk throughout our schools in the district to see the many materials and equipment that's purchased to enhance our curriculum and the programs that are offered in our schools. And we certainly have a great deal of gratitude to the Foundation for all you do to supply those things. Can you tell us a little bit about the grants that the grant program that the Foundation has put in place so the teachers are able to get the kinds of things?
Sure. What I'd like to do is just give a little bit of history of the Foundation so you know where we came from. Basically in 1993, the Foundation was formed as an independent, nonprofit corporation, and it was formed to enhance and enrich the curriculum of the East Brunswick Public Schools. And what the objective is that while the basic curriculum needs to be taught just because that's efficient and thorough education, the Foundation wanted to go above and beyond for the students in the public school system and make the learning environment that much more positive for them. And we do that through fundraising, and the money goes directly into grants that are requests made through the system, which Lori will go through in more detail. And right now, we've issued, in our 11 years, over 450 grants and over $500,000 in funding.
That's wonderful. And I know that there's a great deal of grants and applications and so forth that our staff fill out and certainly apply for. And Lori, can you tell us a little bit about that? I know that most recently we did have a program here. We talked about independent reading and the leveled books that were purchased by the teachers to enhance their libraries was wonderful. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about your grant program?
Sure. Our grants are wonderful, and they're available to teachers, staff, administrators, PTAs, as well as clubs within all of the schools. And there's just a four-step process they have to go through to apply for the grants. All of our applications are available online on our website, which makes it so much easier for people to download the applications. Once the person has filled out the application, it needs to go to the school principal. After that, it goes to the district supervisor, and then it goes through to your office. Once that has been completed, it comes to us, and we have 4 different types of grants that can be applied for. We have mini grants, which we review on a monthly basis. Those are available for elementary schools for up to $500. Secondary schools can apply for mini grants for up to $2,500 a month, but they have to be for a grade level or a department. On an annual basis, we also have excellence grants, which go up to $2,500, as well as blue ribbon grants, which go up between $5,000 and $7,500. We also have another grant, which is called a partner grant, which we require someone to have matching funds from another source, and they go up to $2,500. A good example of that is the Dodge Poetry Festival at the East Brunswick High School every year. That's something we're very proud of supporting. Once the grants come in, again, the mini grants we review on a monthly basis, and the larger grants we are actually in the process of reviewing now. They have to be in the beginning of January, and decisions should be out within the next couple of weeks on those grants. So we're really proud of what we've been able to do with the schools. We have a great committee of people that work together, a very diverse group of people. We have people with children in the schools now, people who have children who've gone through the East Brunswick schools. We have current educators and former educators also on our committee. Some of the grants that we've provided for the recent past have been a Chinese cultural fair at Frost School. We've provided smart boards at both Chittick and Memorial schools. Lawrence Brook and Warrensdorfer schools have new playground maps. At Lawrence Brook School, there was an interesting program they did with owl pellets, where the students were able to open them up and study what was inside the owl pellets to determine where they came from. Churchill has a weather station. Memorial had a visiting author program. There was an Egyptian fair at Hammersholt. Bell-Monroe has a program integrating language arts and math. All the elementary schools were given a program where they can use United Streaming Video and the Poetry Festival at the high school, which we're very proud of.
The girls swing 2 clotheslines between them as if they were goddesses. holding two country roads leading to each other. Neighbors surround her syncopated dance as her seizure of heat begins to flicker on the moonlit sidewalk. Now the ropes are white hot. Her hair ignites in the upswing. Her barrettes, like petrified butterflies, click on the offbeat. Her knees pump like she's walking on red coals. Her arms flail as if she's calling the rain to put her out. She jumps, she flirts with the flame, she jumps backwards and then turns forward, rocking in and out of the light. Her hands testify around her head or pose on yet-to-be hips, till her fire snuffs out as the wind blows cold. An alien car with flashing lights slows past, and the braids of our summer night surrender to gravity.
Cheap, the way the word came back to me when I was sitting at the party where I had chosen to wear the wrong kind of clothes, as though some sense of style, of what is right to wear, is bred into others but left out in me.
It's called My Father's Childhood, and there's a story that has a lot of resonance for me right now. It's in my poem, but I want to tell you about it a little, which is that my father was born in Germany, and when his father fought in World War I on the side of the Germans, and he was wounded in the war, and they moved to a small village in Germany. And there, my father's my grandfather, who I never met, his job was guarding French prisoners. And what he did every day was he marched the French prisoners through the village where they were living. But he managed to march them through the village by the apartment where my father was growing up, and then they would go in and have tea with my grandmother. And then they'd have tea, and then they'd come out and time was over, and they'd march back to the camp where they were being held. And the humanity of it has stayed with me, staying human and participating in something together. So my father speaks, my father's childhood. I used to bring the conductor his lunch pail on the trolley that circled Mannheim. But I can't recall now if he was my father or my father's brother who moved to California. Maybe he showed me his wounds. Papa guarded French prisoners in the village where we moved after he was shot down. He had trouble breathing after the war. Sometimes he marched them by our house and sneaked them in for tea. My mother made him keep his rifle in the hall. Otto, she said, and he put his gun away.
The next day was Sunday again, and this time the caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf. And after that, he felt much better. You can stand right here. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. So he built himself a very special house called a cocoon, or anybody know? Chrysalis. And he stayed in there for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, and when he pushed his way out, he was a beautiful, who knows? Butterfly. Yeah, there he is. All right. Can you clap for all my friends? Thanks so much.
Well, thanks to the East Brunswick Education Foundation, we received a grant of some money where we were able to buy the materials that we needed to do this. Each table is a station. We have paper folding. The children come to that table, we'll make something using paper folding techniques. We have parents at every table helping us, and students helping to teach the children how to do that activity. We have traditional Chinese games. Tiffany was teaching the Chinese yo-yo. We have calligraphy, we have using chopsticks, and we have learning to count to 10 in Chinese and also writing the numbers 1 to 10 in Chinese.
20 minutes of searching, George and Harold finally came across a room they had never seen before. They entered cautiously, stepping quite quietly past the rows and rows of books.
Anthony, how do you choose books that you are going to read during independent reading?
First, I choose what type of book. Do I want a chapter book, a fairy tale, fiction, non-fiction, or an animal book? In any chapter book that I pick, there's no more than at least 12 real hard words. So there's a certain amount of words I can't pronounce, but most of them are words I've either heard of or can easily pronounce.
You pretty much said that you choose the book that you want to read, you understand the words, and you can understand what the book is about. And when you are finished, do you write a response to Miss Clark?
Fine.
And what do you do in that response?
I write about like what the characters are, how I can relate to them, and maybe a connection.
Very good.
That's really terrific. The kinds of things that the children are experiencing is just totally extraordinary, and that's wonderful. One of the things that I really was impressed at our last meeting that we had at the foundation was the new program, another new way in which the foundation is enriching the lives of our students, and that's the Student Ambassador Program. Ellen, can you tell us a little bit about the Ambassador Program?
Certainly. It is open to students in grades 9 through 12. It is really the brainchild of Lori Silver Ian Hodis, who is a guidance counselor at the high school, and myself. And we just felt that we would like to get students more involved in the foundation, in addition to the student representatives that we have from the high school who have to apply to the administration at the high school and be chosen based on application by the administration there. This is a community service organization where the students can get their volunteer hours and also become a part of our system. A few of the community service activities that we have already planned and been part of has been the special education program with Mrs. Berman in the Bound Monroe School. Our students have volunteered to record books on tape for the special education classes and then distributed throughout the district so that all of the special ed students can participate in a reading program where they follow along and they listen at the same time. We have one student in particular who is very interested in technology, so we have asked him to participate in updating our database and our website, and he's having a great time and we're enjoying having him. We have a student who is very interested in journalism, so that student will be helping with the newsletter, of course, gaining community service hours, of course, accumulating all of those as we go. This month, Warrensdorfer PTA is having a Character Counts breakfast, and they have asked us for volunteers, and we, of course, will be supplying them with several of those as well. Our community service volunteers also have helped with the Nutcracker, our fashion show, gift wrapping, and they are going to be volunteering shortly for the Partner in Excellence dinner. We hope through this ambassadorship, the students not only express how they feel to us because they are invited to every single meeting, but we want them to become part of the community and part of the system and really enjoy being in the schools and in East Brunswick. And to that end, we are going to be having them update our bulletin boards within each of the schools, taking photographs, being involved in special grants that the teachers have requested us to supply them. And we want them to learn how to work with adults, how to work with teachers, and we really want to hear what they have to say.
One of the things that I think really impressed me at the most recent meeting I attended the foundation were the students that were there. And they're very much a part of the group, and not only are they getting a great deal of experience in their community projects, but I think just being a part of the foundation and giving it a student's perspective to the organization, I think was wonderful. There's another goal of the foundation I know is very near and dear, John, to your heart, and that was to develop a website for the foundation, and I know that's up and running, so share that with us.
I'm really excited about that because the two big programs that we will do this year, thanks to Ellen and her committee's work with the Student Ambassador, and the other one was the development and upkeep of a web page, which is www.ebef.org. Hopefully it's at the bottom of your screen right now. And what we've done with that is not only can people find out the history of the foundation, where we've been, what we're trying to accomplish. But the great thing about it is the latest events that are coming up will be up on the webpage. As Lori mentioned, it's much easier now for people to download applications for grants because those are up on the webpage and available. And the thing that also is being worked on by a student ambassador, as a matter of fact, is the development of the database of all the grants that were ever funded, so that somebody can go back in history and find out what qualities or what topics have been covered and where they have, because sharing that information, while it may or may not become a grant, may just be a great stepping stone for somebody to say, oh, maybe I can do that in my class and do that much better. And thanks to the offices of the superintendent, Debbie in the technology department, and Trish LaDuca and stuff, and this student ambassador, the webpage is looking good, and it's up and running, and people should visit it. So
and we
really happy
encourage
with that.
them to do so.
Absolutely.
Obviously, all these wonderful things that the foundation has achieved can only be done through the fundraising and the donations of the many people who keep your organization going and allow all these wonderful things to occur for our students. There are many fundraising projects, I know. Can you discuss that with us and kind of encourage people to participate, right?
Sure, this is the part that we have to do the sell on, which is we have different events during the year, hopefully that they're also enjoyable to be at and people want to participate in them. But as Ellen mentioned, we have the Nutcracker in cooperation with the New Jersey Dance Ensemble. We have the fashion show, which is a great time for everybody there. We also have a thing called Present with the Future, which is a wonderful way to either memorialize something or to thank someone, to thank a teacher. Sometimes you're stumbling on what you can get a teacher. Well, what this does is, for a minimum donation, an acknowledgement will be sent to the recipient that money was given to the foundation in your name. And the nice thing about that is it feeds right back into the public school system and makes it that much better. So Present with the Future is one of our ways of gifting that really has a concrete impact on the system. The other thing that we have, and probably one of our major fundraisers that we invite everyone to, it's on March 27th of this year, is the Partner in Excellence Awards Dinner, which we honor typically 2 individuals, and we have a wonderful time there, and we invite everyone to come.
Good. John, Lori, Ellen, on behalf of the Board of Education, the students, the staff, we truly thank you for all the work that you do to enhance our curriculum. And I encourage our community to support the foundation whenever possible, because it certainly finds its way to the classrooms. Thank you for joining Spotlight in Education.